Well, today is Palm Sunday, and for a day about 2,000 years ago, when palms were used to wave and pave a path for Jesus entering into Jerusalem in a jubilant parade. Today is also known as Passion Sunday, named for the Passion of Christ, a term given to the suffering Jesus endured 2,000 years ago during Holy Week, the week that unfolded between the lifting palm parade and Easter. And the dissonance between the names and the images and the history remembered this Sunday is great. Joy-filled, palm-strewn parade with the crowd crying hosannas, and the violence-filled conflict that ends with Jesus crying, my God, why have you forsaken me?" could not be starker. And that disharmony between Palm Sunday and Passion Sunday nomenclature in the stories always throws me for a loop. They present a choice that I'm never quite sure how to reconcile. Easter is God's reconciling answer, of course, but in the context of the first Holy Week, unfolding from Palm Sunday through Holy Saturday, Easter is completely unknown. And so, as the stories unfold, we need to be reminded that the bright sunset on Palm Sunday led to the deep darkness of night Holy Week presented. See Easter's sunrise. Surprise was not yet dawning as far as all of the human players in the story are concerned. The Palm Parade before Easter served as a celebration of the godly brightness of Jesus and Jesus' way and the human following as the sun sets out into the passion's darkness, terrifying, ungodly conduct as the brutal nightmare Rome's way made very, very real for Jesus and his followers. As Holy Week unfolds, there is great tension in human conduct. The first day offers a snapshot of humanity at its best, following and reveling in Jesus and his way of love. The Palm Parade is God's Son. There is wonderful jubilance and embrace of Jesus as he came to town. The followers didn't know it, but that parade began Jesus' final step on his life's journey. And tragically, those final steps caused Rome's earthly powers to have an equal and opposite reaction, an ungodly, dark human response of rejection and malevolence. And we like to reconcile human tensions in stories, but sometimes in real life there is no reconciliation. At least not without God, which is where Easter comes in. For a moment, and I know it is very hard to do, but it is important that we remember during Holy Week, Easter was an unknown. On the other side of the mountains, it was a sunrise that no human could expect. And when we remember, we're faced with the truth that humans without God seem a very fickle bunch in this story. For a little while, one day, Jesus was celebrated as the King of the Jews, and then for the rest of the week, he is denigrated for it. And those who celebrated Jesus embraced his love for all message in opposition to Rome, but then those very same people abandoned Jesus, even his most ardent disciples. Jesus is abandoned to powerful men of Rome who used lawful tools of the government to mock him as the King of the Jews. They cruelly mistreat him and they execute him. Jesus' arrest, trial, and conviction were all done lawfully in a justice system set up to maintain the status quo for those in power. Jesus and Jesus' way had threatened that status quo by running its brutality and lack love for non-elites. Jesus was very public, asking people to not be afraid to do God's word by tending to the well-being of everyone. And he did it in defiance of the status quo. Jesus was teaching people how to act toward others and to mediate God directly without the need for Rome's appointed elite. Jesus was a rebel for God. He was a rebel for God. He was rebelling against Rome. And Rome killed rebels by crucifying them to terrify anyone from thinking about rebelling. And so on this day, which is both Palm and Passion Sunday, there's a great dissonance between the potential for human light and the potential for human darkness. The tension between goodness and evil is there, resonating in the retelling and the remembering. It vibrates off the pages of the final chapter of Jesus' human life in the Bible, much of which we will literally read in our very powerful Monday, Thursday service. This Sunday, churches often skip the reality of the dissonance and lean toward emphasizing the light and the joyful side of Palm Sunday, singing Hosanna and waving palms, remembering exuberant people lauding the Lord with acclamation and celebration. Remember Jesus and that joyful light. And of course, churches throughout the world amp up the sense of joy and bright light even more next at Easter. But the passion part in between the framing bookends of the greatness of Palm Sunday and the even greaterness of Easter is connected to deep, dark suffering in between caused by the sparks of bright light that Jesus ignites before and on the first Palm Sunday. Jesus' efforts lead to a remarkable reignition of God. Jesus' continuing spirit and his followers' faith, all of which become the glow of the endless fire of Easter, which later literally lands on the head of all the church on Pentecost. But see, we can't appreciate the glow of either Palm Sunday or Easter or Pentecost, for that matter, without the darkness of Holy Week. The light means little without the darkness. It is, in fact, best seen in contrast. The prophetic torch of love and justice, the flame of God that Jesus bears into Jerusalem in the early part of the week, marks his human life's sunset, because Rome, through Pilate and its appointed religious elite, spent the rest of the week through Friday trying to extinguish that torch by as brutal means as ever known to humankind. Before Easter, on the cross, Rome douses out the flame of love that Jesus and his following blazed into town with. It's just smoldering coal by the end of the week. And the meaning and the power of both Easter and Palm Sunday would not still burn in the hearts of humankind were it not for the terrible suffering that put out the flame in the middle of those two now holidays. Pastors have a saying that you can't get from Palm Sunday to Easter without Holy Week. And before I go any further, let me make this crystal clear. God did not want, did not demand, and did not plan or need the suffering that Jesus endured during Holy Week. Jesus' suffering made God weak. It violated God's commands. It was, in a word, ungodly. And theologies that claim God was in on causing the suffering are not in the Gospels. They are not found in the church for its first 1,000 years. And so we can and we should be very skeptical of them. They contradict the God of Jesus found in the Bible. God is love. Love does not want suffering. God did not plan or desire or let alone demand that Jesus be sacrificed. There's only one power in the universe that we are aware of with a record of planning, demanding, imposing, and inflicting suffering like Jesus endured. Earthly power gone awry. Rome planned, desired, and demanded it, and needed it to put out the flame and light of Jesus on the Jesus movement. Suffering and passion was all man made, all due to the sin and the failing and the meanness and cruelness of men wielding power unjustly, unkindly, and decidedly not on a humble walk with God. There are three requirements God gives to humans. They are on the words on the quilts on this church's wall. And not one of those requirements was followed by anyone during Jesus' final days after Palm Sunday, except by Jesus. Rome's realm of ungodly terror worked that week to squelch humans doing God's work, fulfilling the call to seek justice and love kindness and walk humbly with God. Rome shut down Jesus and Jesus' way Good Friday by doing the opposite of those three requirements. And by Friday afternoon, the fuel of love that Jesus and his followers brought to town was turned to that lump of smoldering coal. And Jesus' followers were so frightened they hid, leaving Jesus and his way of love behind briefly, but certainly. And no one knew it or could imagine it, but the source of the fire, the source of the light that Jesus brought to town on Palm Sunday, that fuel of love became so much like coal in the darkness of Rome, having put it out. But it was coal that could be and was reignited with an unextinguishable flame by the sparks of God left behind by Jesus and Jesus' way in his followers. The sparks we saw on Palm Sunday in the parade crowd's own bright God light and that of Jesus served, thank God, to reignite that flame. We see in the contrasting stories that humans were right and good to welcome Jesus with an exuberant parade and songs of Hosanna, which is an expression of praise and adoration, but also literally meant at the time, oh, save now. Jesus was being exalted and supported for his work before Holy Week, his work to save the people, save us all from our lesser ways of being. Before he came to Jerusalem, Jesus was working to provide that salvation by rebelling against a cruel, oppressive, and unjust government and culture where the vast majority of people were nobody's expendable to the cultural elite. The realm of Caesar had very little care for the well-being of anyone other than those in power. The realm of God. The realm of God had and has very great care for the well-being of everyone. And Jesus' movement, his teaching, and his glorified way on that first Palm Sunday were about the realm of God being near and how we might bring it into reality now. The promise to save humanity was celebrated with that welcoming parade, and rightfully so. But the spiritual backbone of those members of humanity celebrated and supported Jesus' way of bringing in the realm of God seemed to be broken by the realm of Caesar in the days that unfolded. Except for Jesus. Jesus did not let it stop him or his ministry, or most importantly, his incarnation of God's love and God's realm in the now. Even when Jesus' physical body was broken by Rome, he did not let up. His spirit was love. It was unbroken, and therefore God so all the way to his death. In the telling 2,000 years later, we can see that in the first Holy Week, Jesus' relentless love was the Spirit of God. It was the realm of God incarnate in one man. And even when his human body was being destroyed, that Spirit was not destroyed. Jesus did not let it die. God did not let it die. And perhaps most remarkably, humans did not let it die. God incarnate and the Jesus followers were in on the fanning of the spark of God within themselves and throughout creation and brought the flame back to life. We may not have thought about it before, but without humans, Easter doesn't happen. To be sure, the humans who cheered him on Palm Sunday abandoned him in the face of terror. Were they to have walked as he walked Holy Week, they would likely have suffered and died. It took a remarkable being to endure Jesus did. The later glorifying of martyrdom aside, Jesus, like God, has never wanted anyone to suffer as he did. He wants us to seek justice and love kindness with humble courage. And it may lead to suffering, but never because Jesus or God wills it. What happened after Jesus died was incredible. The love that fueled his life and ministry reignited. It was lit back up by God. The God spark in humans that followed Jesus were essential to that reignition, and it has remained lit by humans choosing to fan the spark of God ever since. Just like we cannot have Easter without Holy Week, we cannot have Easter without God incarnate in humans, without our understanding that Rome did not and could not and will not keep Jesus down ever. Jesus has risen in one form or another far higher than one could ever imagine. And God gave us that good news and relies on us to keep that good news alive. The love that Jesus brought and brings fuels God's flames of love, and it breaks in the realm of God now and forever. And so, the first Palm Sunday cries of Hosanna, "O save now," can be understood to have been heard. In 1 week's time, they weren't to save us now and forever. And they weren't because of God incarnate in Jesus, because of God incarnating in his followers then and ever since.